Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavin is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavin Show.
What is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome to another great episode of the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day. Whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz, look, we're diving deep and keeping it real. So please do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. So my friends, look, on tonight's convo, we continue our commitment here on the Arrington Gavin Show to reminding people that local elections matter because some of the decisions that impact our families the most aren't made in Washington or Richmond. They're made right here in our own communities, like the city of Chesapeake. And here in Chesapeake, voters have a major decision ahead. This year's Chesapeake School Board race is one crowded race with 13 candidates competing for 5 seats. And tonight, we're giving you another candidate the opportunity to make his case directly to you. My guest is Jeremiah Harrell, one of the 5 Democratic-endorsed candidates running for Chesapeake City School Board. Harrell brings more than 2 decades of law enforcement experience to this race, and he's making school safety, supporting teachers, parental involvement, accountability, and responsible use of taxpayer dollars central parts of his campaign. But tonight isn't just about campaign talking points. We're going to talk about the real challenges facing Chesapeake Public Schools from, again, school safety, which I mentioned earlier, and student discipline to teacher retention, academic achievement, budget growth, and overcrowding, and what accountability should look like under Chesapeake's new superintendent. With 13 names on the ballot, voters deserve to know what separates each candidate from the rest. So tonight we'll give Mr. Harrell the opportunity to explain his vision, defends his position, and answer a simple but important question: why should Chesapeake voters use one of their 5 votes to put him on the school board? Now, look, my friends, I've had the opportunity to speak with Mr. Harrell, awesome dude. I think he has, again, it's tough, but I would say the voters have their work cut out when it comes to this upcoming race. Again, 13 candidates. I had the opportunity to have on a number of the candidates running for city council, which is another packed race, right? Our previous episode, we had the opportunity to have Dr. Janelle St. Louis, who's one of the 5 Democratic-endorsed candidates, but she is in a race of 15, y'all. 15 candidates, all 5 seats. So you have 5 seats up for grabs for city council, 5 seats on the school board level. And again, I've had the opportunity to speak with school board candidates from here in the city of Chesapeake, from city of Hampton, Suffolk, you name it. We've had the opportunity to speak with folks from all different districts. So, and it's something I'm enjoying because for me, I have failed you as a host, y'all. And what I mean by that is I have not provided the opportunity to discuss more involvement and what's going on the public in the school board. I talk a lot when it comes to obviously federal level, state, as well as city council, but I could do better when it comes to talking about school board issues. And I guess I'm a little, it's because, well, I'm not a parent, right? I don't have any children, but also I have to remind myself that the school board, schools in general really does impact your local cities, because you have to look at, for example, property value, right? That affects when it comes to how good the schools are, right? So it's a lot more to it than just, well, you just got folks talking about, what's going on with students, X, Y, and Z. No, it's a lot more to it. So again, I'm excited to have on Mr. Harrell on the program because, again, we respect all individuals who take the time and the leap of faith to say, hey, look, I have what it takes to make a difference in my community, and taking the time out of my schedule to say, hey, look, I want to run for local office. So we're going to talk about like what led him to this decision and again, his priorities, his campaign, his platform. We're going to have a great conversation, y'all, here on the program. But as always, before we get going, I got to thank you all for taking the time out of your busy schedule to tune into yet another great episode. This is episode 653, y'all, 653. The Arrington Gavin Show, we drop new episodes weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and wherever you listen to your podcast, whether that's iHeart, Spotify, Apple, just to name a few. We're available on all podcast platforms. You can also check out past episodes of the Arrington Gavin Show on GOATverse TV. That's right, GOATverse TV. So do me a favor, download the app. It's available on the App Store, Google Play Store, Roku, as well as Amazon Fire TV. And let's see here. Make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Follow us on social media, right? At the Arrington Gavin Show on Instagram, Blue Sky and X, both AG Show Live is the handle for that. Substack, you can check us out on Substack, as well as our website, www.theagshow.com. You can hit me up from there if you have any questions, right? Just want to say hi, or if you would like to hear me discuss more of this discussion topic or that discussion topic, or if you want to recommend guests, you can hit me up through our website, or you can DM me. I respond back. Again, I love the engagement and the transparency with those who support this program, y'all. And before we go to a commercial break, we have a goal to continue to increase our subscribers and our listeners here. So please continue to subscribe to this channel, share with a friend, share with family. I truly appreciate it. We want to continue to spread great conversation and just fun, right? We have fun, we goof off, but I also want to inform our listeners too, and just kind of bridge the gap, because when it comes to politics, y'all, I get it. Politics ain't sexy. All right. People, it's a little foreign from, what goes on in local and state and federal government. Is not attractive at all, but it's so important, y'all. I can't tell y'all enough. Young people, old people, right? Middle-aged people, politics is everywhere. So you cannot run from it. I understand you're like, I don't follow politics. I don't like it. It's too vicious. I'm not a fan. I'm like, okay, but at the end of the day, my friends, politics is involved in schools. It's involved in the church. It's involved in hospitals. It's involved in the grocery stores. It's involved in everyday conversations, in the dinner table. It's involved everywhere. You can't run away from it. So please, the more you know, the more you grow. Knowledge is power. You have to have an understanding of what goes on in your backyards. We get distracted, of course, what happens on a federal level. But hey, I say this all the time. What happens in Washington trickles down on a state level, trickles down on a local level. So again, y'all, we got to do better. And we got to also improve that voting turnout, man. I mean, I know primary season recently we had, I think it was primary season. We had Wisconsin, Michigan, Minnesota. And then prior to that, we had, don't get me lying, because I know it was in 2 states, but primaries are always a low voting turnout. And that's, average, but we don't want to have those same numbers when it comes to the general. So much is at stake, y'all. And I'm trying to tell y'all, we do not want to continue to be complainers and then don't do anything about it. That's one thing that always pisses me off, where we can complain. It's so easy to complain, but I'll be like, hey, did y'all vote in the last one? No, man, that ain't me. I ain't about that life. I'm like, just stop right there. I don't want to finish the conversation. I don't want you to waste oxygen, bro. I don't want you to waste oxygen. Anyways, enough of my rant, y'all. Look, we're going to take a quick commercial break. But then after that, we're going to be honored to have on Mr. Jeremiah Harrell to discuss his platform and the reasons why he is running for Chesapeake City School Board. Look, my friends, do not go anywhere. You're listening to the Arrington Gavin Show. We will be right back after these breaks.
Every man has a story to tell. Your ambitions, your achievements, your legacy. Your suit should reflect that story, crafted precisely, designed for impact, and tailored exclusively for you. We work with only the finest fabrics, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends from world-renowned mills in Italy, the UK, and India. These fabrics are the foundation of custom suits that exude elegance and stand the test of time. But a suit isn't just about fabric, it's about fit, and it's about confidence, and it all starts with you. When you work with me, you'll receive a personalized consultation, whether in person or over Zoom. Together, we'll explore your vision and discuss your needs. And we're going to bring your ideas to life. My journey as a designer includes apprenticing under New York-based designer Clavon Leonard, showcasing collections at New York Fashion Week, Algeria Fashion Week, and the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. That experience is what we bring to every suit we create, from weddings to corporate events and everything in between. We specialize in crafting one-of-a-kind suits for life's most significant moments. Dapper Luke has been recognized as one of Baltimore's best menswear in 2023, and I was honored to be one of the 10 designers selected for the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. With over 900 satisfied clients, we proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore, bringing world-class designs to these incredible communities. We don't just make suits, we craft confidence. Your suit will fit your body, your style, and it will tell your story. Book your free online personal consultation today. Visit www.dapperluke.com.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to.
And we still in traffic.
I don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up.
With me?
Yeah, this that new Goat Verse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of that he said?
Introducing GoatVerse TV,
Goat Verse, that's what it's called.
the free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In Goats, we trust.
6'10", number one pick, 16 seasons, college player of the year, all-rookie standout. Joe Smith built a career on grit, consistency, and showing up.
Greatness isn't just about the game. It's about how you show up every day. Rugged Evolution now offers body care products for every man, because not every man wears a beard, but every man deserves care. Greatness doesn't fade.
It evolved. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Every beard deserves to be legendary, and every man deserves care.
I'm Aaron Phillips. Join me Saturdays at 12:30 as I host The Voice of 757. I'll share news, events, happenings, and the people that shape the 757. That's The Voice of 757, Saturday afternoon at 12:30 right here on Sky 4.
All right, family. Thank you for sticking with us, y'all. Before I bring on Jeremiah, man, I just got to complain one more time about this. I know y'all getting tired of me complaining about the heat going on here in Hampton Roads. Y'all, I kid you not, my shirt is just now drying off. I've had every fan facing me like if it was like just, and I'm like, it is, I don't do the heat. I don't do the heat. And I'm from this area. I don't like it. I don't like the heat. I just had a vent. My bad, y'all. My bad. Okay, back to professional. Welcome. No, I'm joking, y'all. Let me go ahead and bring on y'all Mr. Jeremiah Harrell. He's running for Chesapeake City School Board. As I mentioned, he is one of the five Democratic-endorsed candidates hoping to win the seat on Chesapeake City School Board. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring on our special guest. Mr. Harrell, what's going on, boss man? Thank you so much.
Man? How you doing?
Man, doing great, man. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come here on the show. It is campaign season. I know it is busy and time is very valuable for you. So again, I appreciate you for coming on.
I appreciate you for having me. Thank you for opening the doors to all of us candidates and just giving us the opportunity to, just to say our piece and, to reach some new people. Thank you.
Absolutely, man. Well, look, I want to first get the listeners, if you don't mind introducing yourself to our listeners, for those, especially because we do have a lot of Chesapeake voters that are, this is their first time, knowing Mr. Jeremiah Harrell. If you don't mind sharing just a brief background about yourself and also kind of a two-part question, just a little bit about yourself, but what led to you to say, hey, look, I want to run in 2026 for Chesapeake City School Board. So just kind of, give us the background first about the upbringing, if you don't mind, and then we'll get to talk about that second question a little later.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. So a little bit about me. I'm a Chesapeake native. I'm a graduate of the Oscar Smith. I graduated in 2003, proud Tiger. But my school career, I went between Indian River and Oscar Smith. So I have a lot of love, a lot of family from River, also one of Fry's babies, even though, I didn't graduate from River. Yeah, man. I grew up in the South Norfolk part of Chesapeake. Proudly, I love that area, man. It's so near and dear to me. I have a lot of family that still lives there. A little more about me. I'm a father to 4 beautiful children, Odin, Luca, Adelaide, and Marley. Those are my pride and joy. I love them dearly. My mother, Christella, she's still with us. Lives in the Great Bridge area of this beautiful city, one of our lovely senior communities. You know, I'm a devout Christian. I definitely wear my faith on me. But that's it for me. Professionally, I've made law enforcement my profession of choice. Proudly serving for over 23 years. I've earned a master's degree in Homeland Security, emergency management. I have my bachelor's in criminal justice, and that's a little bit about my background. I mean, if you want me to kind of expound a little more on that.
No, we appreciate that. So I guess my follow-up is what led to the decision of running for school board, or really just public office in general. And I'm want to ask, kind of attached with that question, is, has service always been something that was installed, in you as or instilled as you since, at a younger age? Because I mean, this is, running for local office is something that's like, I don't know if I want to take on that, that task. Because I mean, you have a career, you're a family man, you're a father of 4. Like, it's like you got your work cut out there. So adding this to that mix, I mean, that's a huge commitment. So I'm curious, what led to your decision running for a school board?
So thank you for that question. So I'm an active CDC member, and when we were going throughout the body, looking at our candidates, very vast, highly intelligent, very busy professionals, all putting their hat in the race. I remember jokingly, I was like, did any men put in for school board? And no one had, right? And I hate
to cut you off, Jeremiah, if you don't mind sharing for our listeners that are unfamiliar with CDC, because there's one CDC that folks always think about. They think of on the health. So if you don't mind explaining that acronym.
So the CDC that I'm referring to, and I appreciate that, the CDC that I'm referring to is the Chesapeake Democratic Committee. It's the local body of Democrats here in the city of Chesapeake.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
yeah, continue, man. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, thank you. I should have cleared up the acronym. That would have got me on a paper. But so yeah, and but going back to the service part, has service always been on my heart? I've been here. I'm 40 years old, and I've been a mentor here in the city over 20 plus years. I've been mentoring young men in the school system, young men behind bars, in the juvenile system, in the community, people that I know, their children, some of their children. I've been a youth mentor, a youth coach for a very long time. So I am a servant at heart. And I found law enforcement to be a service. Of course, it's the balance of protect and serve. And I'm definitely more of in the group with the servants is where I would be. So, once I asked that question, and a buddy of mine, they were like, yeah, we need you to run. And I said, but I actually really thought about it. And I'm so used to being behind the scenes and helping with elections, just helping, push when I was proudly serving the sheriff's office, our former sheriff, Dave Rosado, I was pushing that election. I pushed for Jim O'Sullivan before him, John R. Newhart before him. I helped, Sheriff Watson, Sheriff Wortler when I served in Portsmouth Sheriff's Office. So I've always been championing and pushing for campaigns, but being the candidate was very unfamiliar to me, and I'm still getting used to that. I took the prayer, I sought some counsel, and once I got revelation, I said, let's do it. And what really got me to do it is because and I'll get more into my platform later, but in a nutshell, representation matters. I know how important we serve such a beautiful and diverse and like multifaceted city. Our city looks all different shapes, sizes, colors, avenues. There's beauty in every corner of our city everywhere you turn, and everyone who's looking from a different perspective, if they look in the right direction and just keep looking, they will see a reflection of themselves. And I stand here to be a reflection for someone who's aspiring to be, whoever that may be.
Yeah, and I agree with that, because being, lifelong born and raised here in Chesapeake, we know how diverse really the city is, but on a political side, really it lacks a little bit of representation. I mean, if we have to be honest, right? On school board and city council. And look, folks know here on this program, I am a true in the middle independent guy. I'm friends with everybody, but they know I keep it 100. Representation when it comes to race, class, age, it lacks on our in our public office out here in Chesapeake. So it is time here in 2026 to start seeing that change, start having those folks that can be very relatable, comes from the same community that they grew up in, because it's important, especially the fact that, Chesapeake is at large, right? We have a very, very open. It's the second largest city population wise in the state of Virginia. So it's a lot going on, man. I want to ask a second question to you. Oh, okay, you spent so far 23 years in law enforcement, and you've also helped expand the Chesapeake School Resource Deputy Program. What did that experience teach you about what actually happens inside our schools that, I'll just say, the average citizen may not see? If you don't mind sharing.
That's such a beautiful and layered question, because countless hours brainstorming ideas, crumbled up balls of paper, scratched approaches. There's so much that went into the beautiful package that at the time, Dr. Cotton, and with the help of his staff, and then starting from Sheriff O'Sullivan, and then really Sheriff Rosado, putting this all together. Since its infancy, I was entrusted with, as I went through a couple different ranks, of making sure that everything that we did with our memorandums of understanding met the law enforcement guidelines and criteria as it pertains to the state of Virginia. So where I'm going is, there was so much volleying, all to serve the city in the best way. There was so much behind the scenes, listening to administrators, listening to some teachers, just to bring the city what we've done and what we were able to unveil together. So once we got to that point and we're able to say that we've done this, it was such a long work in motion in concert between the schools, the city, and the sheriff's office, that when we bought it to everybody, we were excited, but we still had much work to do. Now, once we got into the schools, the deputies, it was such a brand new thing. Every day we were learning, and we were having very constant debriefs to listen to the students, listen to the teachers, listen to the administrators, and hear what school administration was having to say. So it was so much, and it was rapidly changing, but it was very beautiful. And what it took was a lot of what I like to call law enforcement is a very intimate business. And that's why I love it, because you have to be, emails are great, texts suffice, but nothing takes place for that, sharing that same space and being next to someone. So it took a lot of intimate hours in the schools, and I'm proud to have done that. And I learned a lot doing that.
Yeah. And I bring up that question because one thing that is always interests me is the say backgrounds of school board members, because again, as somebody that might not have the full knowledge of exactly what the position of a school board member does, you just say, well, they got to be a teacher, I'm assuming, because they work in the school board, education, something. But again, you have a variety of different of folks with different backgrounds. Now, Jeremiah, what uniqueness, what separates you from the candidates, as well as what can you bring if elected? What can you bring new to the table on not city council, but on school board?
Yeah, thank you for that. So what I'm going to bring is, I got to work very closely with Dr. Penny Schultz and Carrie Smith in charge of school safety and security. They are doing an amazing job along with the school board that we have now, but I can see firsthand that there are some sharp edges that my 23 years of expertise, that my homeland security and emergency management background, and my 3 years of being in charge of the school resource deputy program, that expertise is going to bring in. Okay, so I can bring up to date, current law enforcement tactics to bridge gaps, to be a bridge, not a binding between our students and law enforcement. And also just make sure that as a school board, as we are directing our newly appointed, because we want to do everything that we can to help Dr. Brubaker thrive and succeed here in the city. So I want to make sure that as we're making decisions collectively as a school board, that they do have that safety and security part in mind. And, the bottom line is, since I've been 18 years old, I've been proudly serving and honing my sword, you could say, of law enforcement. And the work never stops. I'm a student of the craft. Not only am I a mentor, I'm a mentee, so I'm always learning. You never learn it all. If you ever hear somebody say, I've been there, done that, and
they lying. That ain't true.
Keep it 100, man. Hey, you cannot say, oh, I know everything. It's time to retire.
Been there, done that. All right, been there, done
that.
No, I'm with you on that one, because I always say, I'm a forever student. I always say I'm gonna be a forever student, because you learn each and every day something new. So that being said, then, Jeremiah, like, what are some of the things that you've noticed? Again, you're running for school board, so obviously you see a flaw on with the current school board. What child, or not just the school board, but in the Chesapeake Public Schools, what are some of the challenges? What are some of the flaws that you've noticed? Again, to add on to your reasoning to run.
So that's a great question. Some of the things at the front of that list, I will say, I wouldn't say that I necessarily see many flaws. I always look at what we do well, and then I look at it because I am a citizen of this beautiful city. What are we going to do to make it better? Right. So in order to make the things that we do well better, this is what I've noticed. One thing that we can really look at is our cohesiveness between law enforcement. Proudly, every school in the city of Chesapeake has a law enforcement officer that they can call. If they're not in the school, they will be there within minutes. So that they have a law enforcement officer designated to that school, and they have the school safety officers. Cohesiveness of training will help us in these emergency situations be able to respond better. So that's one thing that I look forward to, bringing more services and throwing more tools to that. And another thing is, every school has what's called a threat assessment. Something happens, and what has to take place between law enforcement, administrators, and counselors is called a threat assessment. That can sound harsh, and parents may, being a parent, and I am two of my children go to our public schools. My other two will go when they get old enough. But when you hear that, if someone were to call me and be like, Mr. Harrell Odin's going to be in a threat assessment, that could be a bit shocking. That could be a bit much. So I do believe that educating parents before they get these calls is something that we can work better on. That way, not if, but when they get these calls, they're, okay, I've heard about this threat assessment business. I know that it doesn't.
Oh, y'all, I think we might have some connection issues on Mr. Harrell's end. Hold up. Let's go ahead and take a break here. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to the Arrington Gavin Show. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
Rugged is the new smooth.
All right, family. Look, we had a little bit of technical difficulties with our guest, Mr. Harrell, but I think we have him back on. Can you hear me, Jeremiah?
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome. Look, no worries, because look, I've always had an inside joke with our guests that when the connection goes bad, you must be hitting on some topics that's important because somebody messing up with the connection. That's all I'm gonna say. All
Okay,
right?
we're gonna go with that. We're gonna go with that one.
We gonna go with that because I had a shout out to Florida Representative Angie Nixon. She's currently running for U.S. Senate out there in Florida, and the connection went a little bad. And I said, "See, well, you hitting on some topics now. Somebody messing with the tech or something going on."
Yeah,
but okay. No, but you were expanding though, Jeremiah, again with explaining that you wouldn't say there's flaws, but there are ways to get better, get stronger on the school board. Because my question was, again, reasons for running is obviously you've noticed something that can use some slight improvement. So if you don't mind kind of continuing just a little bit, because again we got cut off that time, but if you don't mind kind of explaining your answer with that.
Yes, and thank you for that. So like I said, definitely things that I feel, a couple of things that I've identified that our school board does well, but that we could just work a little better on would be initially just the joint training between our law enforcement deputies and our officers that serve in our schools. The school safety officers, referred to as SSOs, they receive a much different training than we do as law enforcement professionals for good reason, because they adhere to the administrative policies of schools, and we adhere to the law enforcement and the Code of Virginia. And where they meet is right where the school is. Okay. So that's the difference between the school safety, the deputies and officers that work in the school, and the school safety officers. Very, very important. But we work in concert, and understanding those differences is right in the middle. That's how I explained it to my deputies. The school meets right in the middle.
Got you.
So with that, I want to put more resources right in the middle of that to help us in these emergencies. Going back to my, emergency management and planning for these emergencies before they happen, with services such as like a mental health CPR, something that's going to be universal. That's a different approach to CPR versus everyone already being CPR certified. Another thing that I really want to look at is when our schools offer what's called a threat assessment. Something happens, and whenever something happens, whatever that is involving a student, and there could be an array of things, but a parent will receive a call and it'll be something like, "Hey, Mr. Harrell, your son Odin is going to be involved in a threat assessment." And I'm like, whoa. Well, that's what a threat assessment is. It takes part between law enforcement personnel from the school, counselors, administrators, and mental health professionals, all to bring resources to whatever the issue is. Now, what I've seen as the commander of the school resource deputy program, some parents can be a bit at arms when they hear threat assessment. It doesn't sound best, but it's not always something to have a concern. It could be because your child might have heard or seen something that we want to address. So maybe earlier parent education, more parent education, and offering more services, and making that a more of a common name will help mitigate some of those. So those are just two examples of what I want to make an impact on right away.
Interesting. How many for our listeners that's unaware, because I know I don't keep tabs on like how many schools are in the city of Chesapeake, high schools, middle schools, elementary school. How many schools? And if you could, just of a ballpark kind of guess the number of students really that the school board kind of oversees within the public Chesapeake public school system?
Well, I can confidently answer we have 28 elementary schools in the city of Chesapeake.
Gracious. 28?
Just in the city of Chesapeake, elementary schools, yes. So as far as the middle and high, I don't have that number, so I don't want to give you a number and then somebody plays and be like, "See, you didn't know." I don't know. I don't know that number, but I can tell
trust
you
this man if they don't know.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not even going to, I'm not gonna, try on that one. But I can tell you, I do know that we serve in our public schools a little more than 40. I believe it's 43,000 students.
Wow.
We in public schools alone. So that's a very we're honored to have that many students we serve. So in public school attendance from K through 12, or probably pre-K.
I am sad to say I was being a born and raised Chesapeakean. I was not a part of the public school system here in Chesapeake. My parents had me. I was at Norfolk Christian. Shout out to NCS. I was in private school. But hey, my district, if I would have been a Hickory. I would have been a Hawk.
Okay.
I guess they kind of saved me in that capacity, because at that period during my high school year, the football team weren't that good. All right, we won't win in too many games. So
I don't think they're much better.
See, all right now, Mr. Harrell, you trying to get some votes now? All right now,
I got love for him, man. But you said we keep it real, man. I got love for him.
Hey, look, I'm about to say you being a former Tiger. I'm just saying y'all got the titles, y'all got the records, y'all got the titles. I give y'all props on that one. I give y'all props. But no, man. Speaking more on the safety piece, because school safety is one of I think the biggest priorities for parents, because we sad to say we're in a climate now where you mentioned mental health, right? But not just that, you have incidents where incidents do occur at high schools, sometimes even going to middle schools. You are a parent yourself. How important is, again, that public, and being a member of law enforcement, how important is that public safety piece though? And I know you've hit on some of the initiatives that you want to pursue, but like, how important is that safety for the students that you want to continue to push during your campaign?
It is crucial. It is crucial. Law enforcement, because not only, if we're being real, when it comes to law enforcement, I often educate people that safety is subjective. Safety is subjective depending on who the person is. Some people may just look at a law enforcement presence and feel safe. Someone may want to have a conversation. Someone may want to know that they're there and not see them. So it's up to us as law enforcement professionals to constantly hone that sword and identify who we are serving and what safety looks like to them. So because for everybody that we get an opportunity to serve, safety could look different. And we must identify that quickly and be able to bring the best tools to the issue. So that safety component is very crucial in our complete picture of what it takes to make sure that our schools are thriving to serve our students.
What about supporting the educators? We're teachers are always saying, hey, look, we're overlooked, we're underpaid, but they have one of the hardest jobs, I would say, in America, because they are looking over a number of students, a number of personalities, a number of different age groups. How important, I would say, or what does your platform bring as far as supporting teachers?
I believe in a transformative type of leadership, right? So it goes both ways. And when it directly comes to supporting our teachers are they're I mean, if there's a body of work, the teachers have to be the backbone. They start early, they come to work early, they stay late, they breathe the culture that they create, the beauty that is in every one of their unique classrooms. And let's just face it, we all have our favorite teachers. We also may have our least favorite teacher. Still a favorite teacher, just not our least favorite, right?
I haven't been I haven't been in school since like 2017. I still know my least favorite teachers. I got them right here in my head. It's so hard not to say on this mic. It's so hard.
I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it because one of my dear friends, it's her mama, and she don't see this show, and she already know. So shout out to my girl Patrice. Yeah, she already know what's up. But but it was because she wouldn't let me do what I wanted to do. That's all it was. But it's very important to make sure that our educators feel heard. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing that I'm running on, man, is every student, every educator, every administrator feeling seen, safe, and supported. And you have to understand who you're talking to. People just want to be heard in whether it's a crisis or just a cup of coffee. When you're actually in this intimate space with people, they want to be heard. And we have to be competitive. I'm proud that we our budget just got approved, and we were able to get a nice a decent raise for our teachers, our substitutes, to bring us up competitive. But again, we're here now. We have work to do, and we have a good place to stand and look at what we can do to continue climbing higher, because progress is a process.
Very true. Very true. Now we go from teachers to another important discussion: the parents. On your platform, you have parents' concerns should be heard. Now, if you don't mind explaining, what does that mean in practice, that the parents should be heard? And I bring this up because when you look at viral videos on social media, right, you're in school board meetings and you see upset parents saying, hold up, I was unaware of this, what are y'all doing? And they go after, again, those on city council, because it's like, hey, look, right, you are the faces on this level. So how important for you is, what does it mean as far as parents' concerns should be heard? What does that mean in practice?
What that means in practice is what I have found over my experience in law enforcement is, if you ignore an issue, it becomes a bigger issue. Okay, so if a parent, no matter how grandiose or no matter how minuscule you think that issue is to that individual, it is more than likely the biggest thing that they have going on. And if they are sending an email to myself, and I'm speaking from a future school board member, if they're sending us if they took the time to send us an email, we need to make sure that someone at least acknowledges that. Now, usually when you see people up here to me on that level 10, some people start up there. Let's keep it real. Some people just start up here. But when you see parents here, that's because they rose to that level. So what it means to me is, again, seen. I want the parents to at least feel heard. And I'm not gonna tell them, I'm not gonna tell anybody what they want to hear. Hey man, look, I've always told people, I've never pretended to have a veneer of perfection over my life. And if I have to tell someone something that they don't want to hear, I at least want to give them a moment to absorb that and be real with them. So at least they can say, Jeremiah told me the truth. But I want to give the parents an opportunity to be heard and let them know, I may not be able to give you the result that you desire, but you're going to know that I took this seriously and we went to work on it. Now, hopefully most people can make a peace with that, but you're not going to make everyone happy, because again, we're serving a city, not just a part of the city. We are responsible for all these students we serve, all of these teachers, all of these administrators, as well as the parents of the students. It's a concert. It's yin and yang, give and take. So if you put too much into the parents, the teachers go by the wayside. If you put too much into the teachers, the administrators feel it's a concert, and you have to, and the only way to know where you have to put your efforts in that moment is to be intimate again.
Yeah, and again, you answered that great, because I asked that because the phrase parental rights somewhat is it gets very political in this climate, right? Especially when it comes to, I want to know what curriculum my child is learning. I want to know what books they're reading. What is this? And it's like, it's difficult because you're still, again, trying to provide teacher rights because they are the educators, and they should be respected and not, overstepped to say, hey, look, if one parent out of a class of 50 students, one parent has an issue of what you're teaching, it's always, and as you mentioned, the yin and yang, it's like it's hard, but I mean, hey, that is the reality. Chesapeake Public Schools, Jeremiah, has historically had strong reputation academically. What do you believe is the biggest academic, I'll say, weakness in the district right now, or if there is a weakness on the academic level here in the city?
Great question. And what the numbers have shown that I've looked at is where we need to continuously work is our phonics. Reading is fundamental. And putting I guess if you just want to put it where it lays, before our students get the opportunity to attend our schools, a lot of that teaching, that education, that rearing starts at home. It starts at home, making sure your children are ready and prepared to go to school. So I can tell you that reading, phonics, and mathematics continue to be the some of the biggest challenges. I like to look at them as challenges. Even when I'm talking to my own children, nothing's impossible. It's just a challenge, and it's just something that we get to really, really claw. Get these. We get our hands manicured and all that stuff. You get your nails dirty, and we really have to work at it. And we have to bring resources and really put the work in, not just say we're doing it. So, but phonics and mathematics is where we can continue supporting for our students that we serve.
To kind of expanding that, readiness and preparing students once they do succeed and graduate from high school. What's being brought up a lot is vocational routes, right? So you might have students that say, well, look, college is not for everybody. I want to rely on I'm experienced in my hands. How important or does it, well, this is kind of like a all around, just a question that's all around the place with this. I'm trying to word it right. Vocational and you know what I mean? Like my brain is always all around the place. You got to get used to it. You got to get used to me, Jeremiah.
Yeah, bro.
The vocational route, and also saying, hey, pursuing college in the public school system here. Does Chesapeake Public School, do they have programs that provide that at least prepare students to say, hey, look, if they're not going to pursue going to college, at least they do have a trade. They have the experience in this trade, in that trade. I'm curious to ask to what you've been listening or at least aware, like in the Chesapeake Public School, because again, I'm a voter, I'm a citizen, that I was like, okay, look, I'm not a parent, I'm a dog dad, but hey, you never know what the future holds, so I need to be prepared for this stuff, right? I need to prepare.
Absolutely.
So does Chesapeake Public School system, do they have like opportunities like vocational schools, or partnered with programs that help students at least know what to do with their hands, just in case if they say, well, I just don't know if if college is for me, I want to pursue this route?
So another great question, and the answer is yes. We have the vocational school. We just got a brand new building that's getting ready to open, and it serves that exact purpose, right? So obviously we want our students to do their best that they can in the moment, always striving to do better than your best. But we want our students to do their best academically. And for those academic scholars, a lot of them may want to go straight to college, multiple different ways, sports, athletics, academics, grants, whatever, flat out finance. But for those students who the workforce immediately is a lot more appetizing, our city does a great job at bringing real means job fairs through Choosing Chesapeake. It's an initiative that we've started a long time in the city. Obviously they want people to work, farm, grow, play, and live here. I might have butchered that up a bit. Don't come get me, because
we human. It's all good.
Right. But I do know that they bring some amazing, like, Chesapeake businesses in, showing that we have these things here in the city that a lot of these students can choose to go into the workforce here, as well as showing them real skills. You know, I've had the privilege when I was serving with the Chesapeake Sheriff's Office to go into the school and teach them just about what we do, the job of a deputy sheriff, educating them, giving them some tangible real world principles. And it's not unique to the sheriff's office. Lots of businesses teach those classes. So again, we do provide a little bit of both. And I do believe that it is healthy to, I've never, you know, served as an educator. Like I said, my passion has always been youth coaching, you know, like emotional intelligence wise and help. I believe that it is important to teach our children how to think, not what to think. So I like giving them a buffet of information, a buffet of options on how to be successful. Let's bring those to the children and let them taste a little bit of it. Once they get a taste, they really see what they like and go for it.
Awesome. Okay. Another important thing I want to bring up with you, Jeremiah, is special education. Now, I bring this up because I myself was a student with a learning disability, right? And I know, you know, the how important it is to serve all students, right? We all have different ways of learning. And there's a number of learning disability, ADHD, dyslexia, autism. There's a number of disabilities that we still need to be out there helping serve, all students. So again, you have parents of children with disabilities can sometimes feel like they have to fight the school system to receive those services. What would you say to those families if you have the opportunity to serve on a school board? What would you say to those families?
What I would say is keep fighting, even if understand that, in this, I try to keep it simple, but like almost in this boxing ring of life, you might have felt like you just lost, but realize that was just a round, right? Like you can get up, you can see it's another round starting, that bell's going to ring and you just got to keep fighting. And from a school board member perspective, it is something that is important to me to make sure that we are intentionally, every IEP, every child that has one of those is unique and special in their own way, and everyone is different. So you can't just, there's no pre-made packet to just toss at them, and it has to be curated for this family, for that family. Similar, not the same. So it's our job to make sure that we are giving again, going back to the superintendent with the administrators, it falls down to the teachers, making sure that we are authorizing policies that support making sure that the administrators can do what they need to do. And again, I do feel that our school board has been trying their best, but this is something that we should always, our city is constantly growing, we're expanding, we're making futuristic decisions, we're making 10-year decisions today, and we should always have that progressive mindset in mind. And like I said, we can make things better. So that's something that we should it's always going to be stirring the pot, there'll never be any skin on the top of the soup, you could say, because we're constantly stirring the pot, adding ingredients, making it better.
Two final questions I want to ask you before we do. I do with all of our candidates. I do a fun rapid round towards the end because we talk so much about. Sure. So I got two more questions to ask. So you mentioned the city of Chesapeake just hired a new school superintendent. Gentleman's name is, let me not buffer his name, Doug Brubaker.
Yep.
Brubaker. Okay.
Brubaker,
and
yes,
so,
sir.
and it was it was kind of a, I wouldn't say controversial, but it did make headlines here on the local area because the school board really did not agree in unison as they usually do, for the most part. I'll say that for the most part, they voted on hiring this new school superintendent, a 5-4 vote. Now I bring that up, Jeremiah, because are you prepared to have those tough, discussions amongst your board members? Again, being that, here in the city of Chesapeake and really all across Hampton Roads, local races are nonpartisan. But at the end of the day, you have your local party, local political parties. And there's gonna be there's gonna be a lot of, hey, we're gonna have to come together regardless of political beliefs, or we might have to always have we might have a disagreement. Are you prepared to have those those discussions? I guess I want to say, because this recent story did provide a lot of in-depth, from the pilot, from every local news outlet was talking about this recent hire.
Right. Yeah, that's an amazing question. And not to toot my own horn, but shout out to the debate club. When I was in Smith, I was almost a debate club champion. You feel me? So I always welcome a good discourse, because because I believe that just like science and religion, they're not enemies. They may contradict at times, but if you talk enough, I believe that anybody, and our school board is full of well-educated, highly competent individuals that are capable of making the decision. You just got to make a decision and stand on that. Now, I'm not going to make a decision and then when it's time to talk about it, be like, I'm not going to run away from nothing. So I look forward to that healthy discourse with goal in mind of serving our city, because every school board member, regardless of their not religion, but regardless of their religion or their political identification, one thing that we all have in mind is we want to serve. We want to serve this city. Okay. So with that in mind, we can come to any goal. But yeah, I definitely welcome that. I look forward to it. I expect it. And I look to stand in the gap and carry my fair share in that group project.
Okay, last question I want to ask in regards to your campaign. This is a big one in I'll say in the world of education, the world of school. Artificial intelligence, AI for short, right? I know some educators that are, hey, they enjoy AI. They use it in their in their classes. It helps them. I know some educators that can't stand it. They think it has been a kryptonite to the students. It is not. Right. It's not smart. It's not making them smarter. It's making them less smarter, because they're relying strictly on technology, when it comes to writing a paper or reading and X, Y, and Z. What is your stance on AI as a young man? You said you're 40?
40. Yeah.
Okay, so you're still millennial. Is that am I correct? Okay. Yeah. So you're millennial, right? So we in that bracket, right? I'm a fan of AI. I will say I'm a fan of AI. I use it as I still do my own, but I use it to assist me, because at the end of the day, it kind of cuts a little time for me. Now, when it comes to education, though, what's your stance on AI? Do you see it as something that the Chesapeake Public Schools can? Hey, look, we can maybe work on a program or some form of initiative that can expand and benefit our schools in the area? Or do you see it as let's not put all of our money in this? What's your take with AI?
So I love that you said let's not put all our money in this, because the school board, and I know this is you're a man after knowledge, the school board maintains the second largest budget in the city of Chesapeake. Second largest, right? So, and that is a lot of fiscal responsibility and trusted stewardship to our school board. So we make the best fiscal decisions with our city in mind, our entire city, and all of those that we serve. But going back to AI, I love AI. I love AI as a resource. Now, AI to me is at its best when you have brought forth an idea. Now, if you're just going to AI for your ideas, that is very, even though AI is constantly changing, to me, that's very finite. You're going to run out very quickly, and it's going to show itself. And ultimately, it's going to be more of a self-inflicted hindrance that you don't have to go through. But I know I've talked to many of our educators that some of the things that we have in place where AI is an amazing asset. But do I feel for those who misuse or overuse, I should say, artificial intelligence, they end up paying the price. I don't think that if this student in this seat is misusing AI and this student is doing the work themselves, those are two different students going in two different paths. So I can see both sides of it. I do support it, but I like to be intimate. Nothing is going to replace the feeling, the atmosphere that the teachers have created in that classroom. Nothing will ever replace that, because then I'm a college graduate. I went 100% online. I never thought I would have been able to do that, but I challenged myself and did it because I enjoy being in a classroom. But there's a place for AI, but nothing can replace what we have going on. You have to stick to the core of what made everything that we do great.
Gotcha. Well, look, my friend, let's have some fun here. Favorite restaurant here in the city of Chesapeake. If you had to pick one, what is your favorite restaurant in the city of Chesapeake?
My favorite restaurant in the city of Chesapeake, I gotta go with Bronco's Mexican Grill. I really hope that's still Chesapeake, Volvo, Kempsville, right there in that shopping center. I believe that's still Chesapeake.
Yep, that's still Chesapeake.
Yeah,
Yep.
Bronco's Mexican Grill for sure.
Okay, bet.
Yeah.
Any like go to like order when you're there? Like you say, okay, I gotta have this one on. Like,
I gotta have the they make the food order. I get the what is it? It's the fajitas del mar. It's the fajitas del mar. Just try it. Just order it and forget about it.
Okay, you said order and forget about it. Okay.
Order it and forget about it. Yeah. I'll tell you the drink later.
That's the smart man there. Smart man. Let's see here. Let's see.
My campaign manager gonna watch this.
That is hilarious. Okay, let me see. Okay, favorite movie of all time. If there's a movie that you could legit watch, it could be action, comedy, any genre. Just what is Jeremiah Harris' favorite movie he can watch when he has some free time? Oh, I gotta turn this on. It's on TV. Oh, I gotta watch it. Like what movie is that?
Pootie Tang, man. Pootie Tang. You asked. That's what it is. It's Pootie Tang. That's my movie. Yeah, Pootie Tang. Yeah.
So yeah, your campaign manager is gonna be calling, being like, "Did I just hear what I did?" That's you know what, and that's a cult classic. That's a classic. Oh,
it's a classic. Yeah.
One of my suite mates in college, man. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. Okay. Favorite music artist. If you had to pick and a favorite music artist, and if you have the name, what is that favorite song that you can say, okay, I can always tune in and just play this song on repeat?
Right. Man, well, I know what song that I can always play on repeat. It would be "Dream On" by Aerosmith.
Okay. Is that like your go-to karaoke song? That sounds like a karaoke song. Like you.
That's not my go-to karaoke. I'm not gonna say it on this. I'll pull it out. I'll show you. Because every time I reveal my karaoke song, it gets taken. And I'll tell you some of my old ones since you mentioned karaoke. It was I used to do Miley Cyrus "Party in the USA." People took that from me, and then I went to Morgan Wallen. I used to win on "Wasted on You," and I had whiskey glasses. People kept jumping on that, so I got something up my sleeve, but I'm not gonna say it.
You don't want to get still. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
I'll
smart
show
man.
you, but I'm not gonna say it. Yeah.
Okay. Smart man.
But
go ahead with that artist.
My favorite artist, man. I may have to go with, it's a group, but I'm gonna go with Earth, Wind, and Fire, just because. Okay. I gotta go Earth, Wind, and Fire. I just love their music. It makes me happy. I've exposed my children to it. They love the music, and music is so timeless. I love music, so I just had to grab onto something and go Earth, Wind, and Fire.
And those guys are still like performing like if it was like the younger years, which blows my mind.
I have to see them. Yeah, next time they come here, by God's grace, I'm claiming it now. I have to take my mama. I have to go see Earth, Wind, and Fire, man. I have to, because they come into Portsmouth sometime soon.
Okay, bet. So I gotta remember that too, because I come from a family that is huge Earth, Wind, and Fire fans. So no, I gotta remember that. If you had the opportunity, Jeremiah, to sit down with at least 3, it could be, influential or, just folks that you've looked up to, who would those people be? And I mean, again, just to have a conversation. Like if I had the opportunity to sit down with, for example, MJ, this person, that person, who would those 3 people be? Dead or alive, excuse me. Let me add that. Dead or alive.
I would number one, I would love to be able to sit down with Jesus Christ. I gotta put him out
wrong
there.
with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
That would be first. For real. Like I really would love to talk to him like in person. And I would love to talk to.
We're gonna have a glass of wine with him. I'm joking. Let me stop.
For sure. Yeah. Well, it's gonna start as water though.
That's what I'm saying. You're gonna get a discount because you'd be like, hey, look, I order this water.
You're gonna get water, and I'm gonna be like, Jesus,
you wanna help me out a little bit?
Yeah. So I think and then after that, I would love to talk to I would love to have a conversation with oh man, it just slipped my mind. I was just thinking it and it went away, but I would like to talk to, I would have to say LeBron James. I would like to sit down with LeBron. Just kind of talk to him. LeBron, the GOAT James. And I would also
he said the GOAT. He said the GOAT James. That's one.
For sure. Yeah,
I listened to that. I would debate that, but it's okay. That's another time.
And I think I would really like to talk to, I think I would want to talk to either Albert Einstein or Edgar Allan Poe, because both of them represent 2 completely different parts of my brain. And I just love the deep thinking, the discovery, or maybe even somebody that's alive like Neil deGrasse Tyson, because like that's why I love Homeland Security. Like every answer brings you to another question. Every answer brings you, it just never stops. So my brain is constantly working. So anyone that could really make my brain work. But I would go for a solid 3. I think I would love to talk to Albert Einstein for that.
Okay. Final question in the rapid fire game. Look, as I mentioned, I've had the opportunity to speak with you in person. Look, you a man that enjoys the gym. I'm gonna just be, I'm just trying to look good in a suit, but I've been trying to keep up with, with the guys like Jeremiah, Harrell, trying to, stay in the gym and stuff like that. What is your favorite exercise when you're in the gym? What is your go-to that you could be like, this is my go-to, exercise I want to do? What is it? Is it bench? Is it squats? Is it working on delts? I mean, what is it?
100%. It's the seated military press. Seated military press. Yeah. Okay. I just recently hit like a PR on that again, like last week, and I had one of the one of the seniors in the gym a long time ago, and he saw that I was taking working out serious, and he said, if you want longevity in the gym, there's 2 things you need to do. He says, for one, you need to get some insoles and take care of your feet, because he said a lot of older bodybuilders, they'll have bad feet. Doctors can't fix your feet. And then he said, number 2, you want to train your delts. You want to train your shoulders twice a week as heavy as possible, because if you train your shoulders heavy, everything else will be good. But if you ever injure a shoulder, you can't train anything upper body. And I was like, wow. So I started training my shoulders as heavy as I could, and so that's my favorite is shoulders, but most specifically is the seated military press.
Gotcha. Well, last final question, and we've completed the rapid fire round. But again, last question for you, Mr. Harrell, is why should Chesapeake residents, why should Chesapeake voters choose you come November 3rd?
Yeah, so Chesapeake should, and I would be completely honored and just enjoyed for our city to entrust me as a school board member. And the reason that they should pick me is, for one, like I said, I'm homegrown. I've been here. I didn't just come here to jump into politics. I've been here with the changes of this city. I've walked hundreds if not thousands of miles throughout this city, worked in this city, bought 2 houses in this city. And I'm going to be here serving this city, multiple boards. And not only did I, help build the school system as it is now, but, you get 5 votes. Like you said earlier, 13 amazing people who've all put their hat in the race. 5 of us are going to have the say for our students, for our teachers, our administrators, our superintendent for this term. And you need somebody who's going to be a team player, goal-oriented. Okay, you need somebody who has an idea. You need a healer, somebody who is going to look to solve an issue, not create issues, not just make the right issues that are going to serve a portion and not all. Again, issues and decisions aren't always going to be favorable with the majority, but they have to be with the best interest of the students, of everybody in mind, and they have to be within the fiscal, responsibilities. We have to steward what we have well. So a vote for me is a vote. Like I said, I'm exactly who, if you've watched this video to this point, and I hope you have, exactly who you see through your camera, that's who I am. I love to smile. I love God. I love my family. I love to have a good time. But more importantly, I love making people know the person that I'm talking to. I love making them know that they're the most important person to me at that moment. And having a school board member who has been all over the city, who is currently still getting their hands dirty, volunteering, doing the dirty work, doing the work in the dark that no one sees, that you don't get the credit for, that's someone who's going to help heal our school board and make sure that things like corruption and all this other stuff we hear whispers about across our school board. And that's what a vote for Jeremiah Harrell is going to do.
For those who are watching, I provided your website, but for those who are listening, if you don't mind sharing, how can folks, hey, if they want to support those that are in the area of Chesapeake, or those that are just, hey, listening, saying, hey, look, I want to support support what you're doing in your campaign. How can they get in touch with you, and how can they support?
Absolutely. You can definitely go straight to, you can send me an email at harrell4chesapeake@gmail.com. That's HARRELLFORCHESAPEAKE.com. You can send me an email. You can go right to my website, www.jeremiahharrell.com. That's JEREMIAHHARRELL.com. On there, you'll be able to donate. If you just want to donate, God bless you. Thank you. Campaigns need support. You can send me an email, make a request a yard sign, get involved. So those are the 2 ways that you can reach out to me and my team. We'll respond right to you. And we'll get this done together.
Awesome. Well, look, Jeremiah, we truly appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule, coming here on the show. If you don't mind, I would love to chop it up with you just for a couple seconds after this program. So hold tight. But again, we thank you for coming on the show, and don't be a stranger. And also best of luck to you on your campaign. We know it is a very packed and competitive race. So best of luck to you.
For sure. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you again for this opportunity.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Family, I hope y'all enjoyed yet another great convo here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Until next time, look, stay safe, stay blessed. We have another great convo that we'll be bringing to you because it is midterm season. We're going to be speaking with folks running for Congress, some folks running for state Senate, even U.S. Senate. We got and more local races as well. So peace and blessings. I'll talk to you soon. I'm out.
That's it for tonight on the Arrington Gavin Show. Thanks for tapping in and keeping the conversation alive. Don't forget, stay connected with us on all platforms. Follow at Arrington Gavin on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, and subscribe to the official Substack for exclusive takes and deep dives you won't get anywhere else. We're here every weeknight, same time, same energy, same real talk. Until next time, stay bold, stay sharp, and stay true. That's what we do on the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.